Hello there, Virgo, and welcome back to my channel. I'm Mary Sue, and I'm so grateful that you're here. So today I'm doing your 2022 Tarot reading. We'll take a look at the overall energies for the year, and then we'll go to the Tarot for some more details for each quarter. So let's go ahead and get started. If you are enjoying the content that I create or resonating with the message, I would really appreciate it if you would consider commenting, or subscribing. So let's start with your Soul Travelers card. Crossing bridges, really interesting. It's time for healing, connecting, mending, and releasing. Taurus also had this energy, so that's another earth sign, but you could be dealing with a Taurus in your life. It doesn't, or you could have Taurus in your chart. Doesn't mean that you have to. And desert passage, trust. There's a divine plan. Really interesting energy of just kind of allowing. And I think this is going to be big for the earth signs this year because Capricorn had that energy of, learning to just kind of release and allow things to come. Okay, so let's take a look at your career sector, the honoring path and loss. Okay, I feel like there could have been some loss that you had in 2021. Either you could have felt a loss in your career and money sector. Your financial status went down, or you just had this feeling of not having enough, okay? In 2021, this is, I think where you've been. And now coming into this year, you have this honoring path, being recognized for the work that you do, understanding that your work is really important, and the abundance coming your way. So if 2021 was a little bit difficult for you financially, I think 2022 has a much brighter plan for you. Really nice. Okay, and then in your relationship sector, message from a bottle and flexibility. So this is your romantic relationship sector. Message in a bottle to me is always somebody from the past, but it doesn't have to be. But there could be a reconnection with somebody, or somebody that wants to reconnect. It's about learning to be flexible, whether you are working on flexibility or this person is. We'll go to the tarot and figure that out. Okay, so let's take a look at each of the 4 quarters. So I'll pull an animal spirit card for each quarter, and then we'll clarify with the tarot. So we'll do January, February, March, April, May, June, July, August, September, October, November, December. So let's see what we have here at the beginning of the year. So, Boss Spirit, surrender now. Really interesting. I'm trying to think. I think it was Capricorn. Had this Moss Spirit, this sense of allowing, of realizing that you can't quite control everything in your life. That trusting in the universe is really important. So we are going to see where that goes. Cow Spirit, the miracles are endless. I am not sure. I think Capricorn had that energy too. Wow. I think, if you do have Capricorn in your chart, or you have a Capricorn in your life that's significant, does not have to be romantic, but a significant person, you may want to go and watch that video. Very unusual to get these 2 cards. Very similar vibe. So let's see what we have here for the 3rd quarter. Bobcat Spirit, life is a mystery. Yeah, I think, it's really interesting. I think the earth signs have a similar type of energy around them, because Taurus had this card, which is really interesting. Oh, I feel like that that's really interesting because I can't say that with any of the other like water signs, air signs, um, fire signs. I feel like the three of you in the earth signs are very connected. So I'm going to see kind of how that plays out over the next couple of weeks. I may, do some videos just, I feel like for some reason the three signs here, Capricorn, Taurus, and Virgo, extremely connected. And Virgo, for some reason, I feel like you are the connection, however that may play out in your life. Because I can't say that the two, Capricorn and Taurus, there was some similar things, but not nearly as much as this. I feel like you may somehow be the connection for other earth signs in some way. And then Beaver Spirit, lay a solid foundation. Okay, this one's new. Yeah, this one's new. Laying a solid foundation. I think you may have a lot of changes in your life. Yeah, Koala Spirit. Koala spirit has a plan, that sense of, there is a divine plan. In fact, I'm going to pull this out. I think, you may even be a leader in helping other people to surrender to their plans. You could be a teacher, perhaps for especially other Capricorns and Taurus. And I say that because that kind of is their lesson that they're learning this year. And I feel like you already kind of have that kind of spirit about you with your card. So you may be actually like an encourager or a leader, somehow connected to other Capricorns or Tauruses. People you may not even know are Capricorn and Taurus, like in your work sector or something like that. I think it's really interesting because we have loss on the bottom and then the honoring path. It's almost as if maybe through your work, in some way, you are inspiring other people to go ahead and surrender. Part of your journey may be actually sending out that message instead of getting a message. You're sending out this message of life doesn't have to be so hard. You are the earth signs. The earth signs are grounded energy, hard workers, work is important, to you. And it's kind of like, I wonder if this is a year of you recognizing the fact that you don't have to work so hard. You can manifest. You can step into that manifesting energy and allowing the universe to take care of you. And I feel as if you have either made that transition or are making that transition, and you are going to help others to make that transition too, from feeling like life has to be so difficult into a life of allowing and ease, more peace, more calm. Really lovely energy, Virgo. Really lovely. Okay, so let's see what surrender now is. Oh my gosh. Okay, positive. Capricorn had these same two cards at the very beginning. You've seen me shuffling, and I also did the Taurus reading between Capricorn and your reading. You may be actually kind of, if you have a Capricorn in your life and this is a significant person in any way in your life, I feel like the two of you may actually be going on this journey together. But if you don't have a Capricorn in your life, or one that you think is significant in your life, it's okay. It's okay, because it's kind of like this is still your reading. It's just that if you do have a Capricorn in your life, it could be that the two of you are taking this journey together. And then you have, so you have the Three of Swords. What you're recognizing is that something in the past, this is not new, something in the past that was painful, that was this loss, has brought you a miracle into your life, because the cow spirit is the miracles are endless. So it's like something that you thought was extremely disappointing something that you thought, oh my gosh, I'll never truly recover from that. All of a sudden, your eyes are opened when you surrender to this new spiritual journey, this new path. All of a sudden, you realize this path could not have come on my path if this disappointment hadn't happened. You could be separated from a Capricorn. For some of you, you could have, separated from a Capricorn, and you're both going in your own directions to experience life in a new way. But what you're recognizing, Virgo, is that disconnection was a blessing in disguise. Really interesting. And with the cow spirit, I said this with Capricorn. It's like all these flowers are blessings, and you're recognizing all the blessings, all the miracles in your life because of something that you thought at the time was extremely painful. Yeah. Two of Cups. So it could have been, it could have been a painful separation from a Two of Cups, energy, someone that you truly loved. It could also be that this person is still kind of energetically in your realm, especially if it's a Capricorn that you disconnected from. And it also could be a new Two of Cups coming on your journey. Yeah, somebody that wants to be with you for a very long time. It's taking a while for this person to come in, but the reason is because you had to go through this disappointment and heal from it in order to bring in this new love interest. Really nice energy here. Okay, so let's see. Bobcat Spirit, Life is a Mystery. Yeah, Taurus had this card too. Actually, Capricorn may have. The Seven of Wands. Stepping out of that box that you had kind of put yourself in. Or you allowed others to put you in. And that's from childhood. That could be, belief systems about love. I feel like love is a big part of your journey this year. I think your career is on a great path, or will move on to a great path very soon. But it's kind of like life is a mystery, and you're kind of like ready to come out of the box that you thought that you had to be in. I was talking to somebody last night on the phone, and that person was saying, oh, I can't make any changes in my life because, I have these bills to pay, and, I can't. And I just said, well, you think you can't. You're choosing that you can't, but you do have other options. And, that person lived like in a very nice house, and they were talking about how expensive that house was. And I was like, well, you can move into a smaller house. And they were like, well, no, I can't do that. Like, I like this big house. And then I was like, okay, if you really want to stay in your big house, then part of living in that big house is having more expenses to keep that big house, right? It all is kind of like this package, but don't feel like you have to live in that big house. You do have other options. And I think, Virgo, that's the lesson that you may have learned in 2021. I know that from doing your readings. And now is really kind of solidified for you that, yeah, I don't have to stay in this. You may have had people in your life that told you, oh no, you have to be responsible. You have to live in this type of cage, right? You have to have this type of job. You have to be in this box, that's all that's acceptable. And you're like, no, there's a whole big world out there, and I don't have to live in this cage. I can go in a new direction. And I think you feel as if you learned that lesson with this painful ending, whatever disappointment this was. And the Three of Swords has so many different levels. So this could be heartbreak, or it could be, just, losing a job opportunity that you thought you really wanted. But whatever this was, it allowed you to see, to have that light put on, to the fact that when disappointments come onto our life, that, rejection is God's protection. That happened for a reason. And it also helped you to open yourself up to the fact that, yeah, I'll have to admit, I'm divorced. And when I got divorced, one of the things I was, really kind of upset about was I played the rules the whole time I was married, right? I played by the rules. I stayed in the cage. And then when I got divorced, I was like, oh my gosh, like I played by the rules and yet the marriage still ended, right? And one of the things that I learned out of that was, why did I play the rules all those years? I played the rules because I was afraid if I didn't play the rules, the marriage would end. Well, guess what? The marriage still ended, right? And it was because I was living out of fear that it would end. So what did I manifest? I kind of manifested the ending. I mean, I can see how it all kind of comes together. But when you release yourself from that cage, and I'm not saying that you should go do illegal things, because I'm not, saying that, but it's kind of like the rules of what we think we have to live by, that we learn as a child, or that our friends or family kind of impose upon us. And when we realize, now, wait a minute, I have the strength to live the life that I want to live. When we go on that path, it's like, oh my gosh, this life is so mysterious. It's so wonderful. It's awe-inspiring. Really nice energy. Okay, so let's go to this beaver spirit. Lay a solid foundation. I think you are. I think you're coming out of this cage that you, in a way, have self-imposed upon yourself, because we all do that, right? You're coming out of that cage, and you're laying a solid foundation for whatever your future is. You're making decisions. We're going to clarify this. I think you may be a little bit confused about how to make those decisions. But you're going to make them in a way that balances out your life. Yeah, I love that. You don't have the full picture yet. You don't have the full picture. There's things that you don't yet know, and that is part of your journey, is surrendering, understanding that there is a divine plan, that you don't have to make, the swords is logical. You don't always have to make a logical decision. Sometimes you just go with your gut. Okay. And that could be part of this cage, like you may have grown up in a family where it was always like, you had to have the pros and the cons, or you had to look at it financially. Can you financially, do this? Is this wise? Financially, is this wise for you to do, and it's kind of like sometimes you just got to go with your gut and realize that the universe has a divine plan. You have two cards that are telling you that you don't always have to do the logical thing. Transformation is beautiful underneath that. And now is a lucky time. Oh my gosh. And underneath that grasshopper spirit, take a leap of faith. And I think that is part of it. I am also going to say, going back to this Capricorn energy, that some of you, I'm thinking about that Capricorn energy. Their reading was very much about taking this leap of faith, going in a new direction, surrendering to the divine, and you have a similar energy to that. I think for some of you that do have a Capricorn in your life, or somebody that has a lot of Capricorn in their chart, it doesn't have to necessarily be, or somebody that you're like, yeah, well, they're not a Capricorn, but I'm totally relating to that. It's as if the two of you are helping each other to recognize it's time to come out. It's time to throw the rule book out and just experience a life, to just live life. And I'll have to say, look at this. Sun is on the bottom and they flashed that to me. So I know it's a message for you. The light is about to shine. The joy, the abundance, the happiness is about to come upon you. You have moved away from something and done this transformation. Remember, you have the transformation energy under here, right? Like you may be finishing up this transformation, but you can feel it. You know this. And you are honoring. Okay, the message I'm getting is that you are honoring this divine path. You are no longer having to make logical decisions. And I'm not saying that, you need to go do something totally frivolous or something. But the energy of getting the information that you need and then just sitting with it and saying to yourself, okay, what is it I really want to do? I'm not saying that you throw out all the logic or throw out all of the information. There is benefit to having that, but in the end, what is it that you really want to do? Because Virgo, it's time. It's time to come out of this cage and go do it. And trust that the universe will be there to back you up. Wow, really nice. Okay, so let's go to this Fool. Oh my goodness. Yep, you're stepping into a new world. The Hierophant is, wedding, long-term committed relationships. I feel like you may be either leaving one or entering one towards the very beginning of the year, but it's also about belief systems. It's this sense of, I have to go on a new journey. I have to find some new belief systems. Yeah, you've been attached to some old belief systems that you have been just ingrained with since childhood. This Capricorn could actually, you're walking away. I feel like you are walking away from the Capricorn. And it doesn't mean that you're going to stop talking to them, completely or anything. But I feel like for some of you, you feel as if you have to go on this path because, it could be that this Capricorn is the one that helped to put you into this box. And yet at the same time, I get the sense that you both realize we need to change the rules. The rules are not working for us. We're working. I feel like that, the earth signs work so hard. Virgo, you work so hard. It's kind of like, why am I working so hard and I'm really not getting anywhere? And it's kind of like, we really need to throw out the rule book. We have to go on this path of discovery, of figuring out like what this life of ours is just so amazing. Why am I spending so much time at a job that is just draining me of my energy? Is there something else that I can go and do? And it's stepping into that world, knowing that you may not know what's coming on your path, and yet at the same time knowing with the Page of Swords, this message in a bottle speaking to me too, that you will get the intuitive insight if you just allow yourself to connect to your intuition, to your spirit guides, to your angels. If you do that, that they know the plan. This is all divinely put onto your path, that you can walk away from, a life of a set of belief systems, of people, of situations that you thought you had to have in your life. You can walk away from them for something that is just so much more beautiful for you. Okay, so let's see what the second quarter is. The 3 of Swords, healing, 7 of Swords, 9 of Swords. For some of you, with this Page of Wands at the bottom, I feel like you may be revisiting this, or somebody may be from the past trying to reconnect with you in some way. And I think it may bring up some sadness for you. For some of you, you may even go through a period of what we call the dark night of the soul. There's lots of information on YouTube and the internet about that. But it's this energy of this situation was on my path for a reason, to help me to look at things in my life that do cause me stress and anxiety. And I'm ready to heal those, right? It's about looking at your shadow side. And I think when you do that, that is when you're going to understand just how this situation or similar situations really are bringing more miracles into your life, that you're understanding, wow, okay, that was painful, but at the same time, I learned some valuable lessons. Really interesting, your second quarter. And yet you are healing from it very quickly. Okay, so this could be somebody that, comes back from the past. It could be somebody from a long time ago. It could be even a family member or something like that, that wants to reconnect, but you're seeing clearly how that person put you onto this path, and you're kind of like, no, that's not where I want to go. I'm coming out of that cage. And I'm ready to go in a new direction. Oh my gosh. Yeah, the third quarter is just lovely. 10 of Cups. Oh my gosh, going towards your 10 of Cups. Okay, I'm going to say, third quarter, you have new love coming in. Okay? A true love commitment. So, you're loving yourself, which brings this in. And I think that this second quarter, looking at how something from the past has put you into this position of saying, you know what, I am coming out of this cage. I am stepping into my own power. I am going to be a leader. I am taking control of my own life. You get extremely inspired and motivated to go forward, to perhaps share your journey with others, because you do have this honoring path. But turning the wheel of fortune, this is where I think the third quarter, you are going to be making significantly more money or prestige, recognition, victorious. Third quarter is good for you. Let's see, that's July, August, September. So your birthday month, right, is in there. Yes, by your birthday, it's kind of like, it's totally opened up. Whatever you may have to deal with in the second quarter is quickly recovered and victorious in the third quarter. Okay, and then let's see what we have here. Oh my gosh. Virgo, you definitely have a love coming into your life, whether it is a healed person from the past, like they've gone their way. Could be this Capricorn, they've gone their way, they've done their healing, you've gone your way, you've done your healing, and then a reconnection. Or it is a brand new love that is coming into your life sometime in the third quarter, perhaps. Definitely in your life by the fourth quarter. Emperor on the bottom. So this is Aries energy. Yeah, somebody coming in, offering their love, celebrating this, dropping the burdens of the past. Oh my gosh, 2022 is your year, Virgo. Yeah, you're stepping into this energy of knowing who you are, loving who you are, nurturing yourself. Pentacles, lots of money coming your way. Somebody that is a true soul connection. Like, you really are going to be looking back at this loss and saying, oh my goodness, what a blessing that person is not in my life. I'm so... King of Cups is somebody that has mastered their emotions, is willing to share their emotions, is emotionally balanced. This person from the past may not have been emotionally mature or able to share their emotions, able to be truly intimate. This person coming in is. And I feel like this person from the past, whether it's romantic, family, friend, it was a significant loss. And I feel like they they weren't able to emotionally connect with you. And because of that, you may have attracted people in your life. This could be from childhood, perhaps a parent or something like that. That you attracted people into your life that also were not emotionally able to connect to you, and you have learned that lesson. You have come out of that cage, right? You may have played by this belief system, this rule book that we don't really share emotions. We don't express our love, right? We aren't affectionate with each other. It just was something that you kind of grew up with, and you come out of that and you literally fall in love with somebody that is grounded. But I feel like this is also your energy, but also emotionally able to share themselves with you, to be truly intimate, to be vulnerable. And you are too. And it's kind of like I'm getting the sense with this Two of Swords. It could be that this person isn't logically what you would have chosen. Okay? Like on paper is not who you would have thought to be with. But emotionally, you know that this is the person for you. And it's such an interesting energy because I think you're coming out of this. And once again, it could be this belief system that, you grew up with this person, the person that you were going to be with had to be this height or have this job or have this kind of status or whatever. And coming out of this and opening yourself up to all the possibilities in the world, it's suddenly kind of like, yeah, why did I limit myself to only, tall brunettes, that made, six figures a year? Why did I hold myself to that belief? Because it really kept me in this mindset of only choosing logically instead of choosing for love, emotional connection. But when we do choose logically, a lot of times we are choosing out of not emotion, but from our head, right? And I feel like that might have been something that you grew up with once again. And you're just changing that. It's like amazing. Oh my gosh. And I do feel like for a lot of you, you may go into a spiritual business, a healing business, honoring this journey that you've been on, sharing your experience with others, trying to help them. It could be something like a YouTube channel or a blog or something like that. It's just a lovely energy of, oh my gosh, I figured it out and now I want to share it with the world. Okay, so let's see your advice. Happiness is my birthright. Yeah, I get a sense that being in this energy, it really is something from your childhood. You may have felt like, well, life is supposed to be hard. You're not really supposed to be happy. You're supposed to work super hard and not really enjoy your work, right? It's something like that. Like, relationships are supposed to be difficult, or challenging, or, a facade, not emotionally intimate, vulnerable. It's kind of like all of a sudden you realize, if I step out of this cage, I can be happy. It is my birthright to be happy. I have felt my whole entire life that I'm not supposed to be happy for some reason, and it's kind of like, wait a minute, I get to be happy. I just have to go find that happy, right? I have to step out of this box and go find my happy. Really lovely energy. Okay. To where does my soul want to travel? This is your soul truth card. Yeah, where does your soul want to travel? I think that is what your journey. I love this. Where does your soul want to travel? Surrender to the plan. Surrender to the journey. Throw caution to the wind. Understand that the universe will provide for you. Trust in the universe. Trust in the plan. Okay, I'll read on the back, and then you can, and then I'll hold it up for you so you can take a look at it. When we travel, we grow. We open up our little worlds to more adventure, thrills, patience, understanding, trust, and oneness. Our hearts and minds expand, and our desires are satisfied. Where is your soul calling you to visit? Pick a location on your desired list. Choose a date when you will get there and start planning. Create a Pinterest board or start searching on travel sites for the best restaurants. Anything that will create movement to let the universe know you are ready to make it happen and believe you can. You know, Virgo, if you've been thinking about going somewhere, and I know right now, traveling is kind of hard, but, it doesn't even have to be a physical place, right? Where does your soul want to travel? It could be a physical place, but it could be that you also want to, express yourself through dance or through art or music. That you want to become a writer, don't feel like it has to be a physical journey. Ask yourself, who are you becoming, Virgo? Who are you becoming? And then take the steps, go ahead and make that vision board. Who are you becoming? What is it that you want in your life? Putting your focus on that instead of something from the past. Putting your focus on what is outside of this cage that you want to experience. And then stepping into that energy as if it's already here, right? Setting that date for it. I want this to happen, and putting it out to the universe and knowing it's going to happen. You may not know how, you may not know when. That's part of the mystery. That's part of the journey, but you know it's going to come to you. And then just get ready. It's going to be there. Trust, release the control. Wow, Virgo, I'm so excited for you. This is such a lovely year for you. I really am excited for you. And I do wish you much love, light, joy, happiness in 2022. Happy New Year. And if you have resonated with the message, I would really appreciate it if you would consider commenting, or subscribing. I would love to hear how this resonates with you in the comments. So happy New Year. I hope to see a lot more of you in 2022. Bye for now.